This is Riot Radio News.
I'm Nick Reed with your Riot Radio News update. Austria police are searching for a suspect after a person was sprayed in the eyes with an unknown substance. The incident happened this morning at Eastdale after a male sprayed another male on the sidewalk outside of the school. The victim went into the school office and 911 was called around 8:30 a.m. Durham police reported the suspect fled into a nearby townhouse complex at Adelaide Avenue and Harmony Road. Police were uncertain if this was targeted or a random attack. An 18-year-old man has been charged in connection with a stabbing in Oshawa that left 2 men injured early Saturday. Police say emergency crews were called to the area of King Street East and Wilson Road North. At around 4:30 a.m., police said it's believed that the 3 men were in a disagreement which escalated into a physical confrontation. 2 knives were found at the scene. The victims, both 20 years old, were rushed to the hospital. One of them was in serious but non-life-threatening condition, while the second man was in life-threatening condition. Now that's Riot Radio News. Now in sports, here's Matt Pollard.
Thanks, Nick. Last night, the Toronto Raptors claimed a 3rd win in a row after a close game against the Sacramento Kings, winning 118 to 113. Kyle Lowry added 30 points to the winning effort. The Raptors are back in action tonight at 9 p.m. as they travel to Utah to take on the Jazz. Tip-off is at 9 p.m. The Leafs are enjoying a few days of rest after falling to Anaheim on Friday. They're back in action tomorrow night when they host Tampa Bay at Scotiabank Arena. The puck drops at 7 p.m. The BNP Paribas Open at Indian Wells in California was postponed due to fears of COVID-19 spreading to the event. Many players had already begun to show up and were practicing when the announcement came late last night. Mississauga's Bianca Andreescu was not going to be able to defend her title this year as she's suffering from a lingering knee injury. And that's all for sports. Here on Riot Radio, back to Nick for the weather.
It's currently 9 degrees. Tonight will be cloudy and feel like -9. Tuesday will feel like 9 with rain throughout the day. And Wednesday, a mix of sun and clouds and feeling like -2. And it's currently 9 degrees for Riot Radio weather. I'm Nick Ria.
From the Durham Lords to hanging out in the pit, welcome to Campus Connection, the radio show about Durham College produced by DC Broadcasting.
Welcome to Campus Connection here on riotradio.ca. I'm Grace Hillian, and today we have a great show for you. Coming up, we have Matt Maneri with our DC Focus. But first, let's take a quick music break with Old Me by 5 Seconds of Summer.
Shout out to the old me and everything he showed me. Glad you didn't listen when the world was trying to slow me. No one could control me, left my lovers lonely. Had to pick it up before I really got to know me. Never and not alone, anywhere you wanna go. Woke up in the morning wearing someone else's clothes. Pictures in my phone with people I don't know. Woke up in the morning, how the hell did I make it home? And then one night how long I could keep it up. But I wondered if I'd ever get enough. And I did something I never should have done. I would do it over now, I'd do it over. Shout out to the old me and everything you showed me. Glad you didn't listen when the world was trying to slow me. No one could control me, left my lovers lonely. Had to pick it up before I really got to know me. All the mistakes I made. go. Yeah. And then one night all out, I could keep it up. But I wonder if I'd ever get enough. And I did something I never should have done. Hey, I would do it over now. I'd do it all up. Shout out to the old me and everything you showed me. Glad you didn't listen when the world was trying to slow me. No one could control me. Left my lovers lonely. Had to make it up before I really got to know me. All the mistakes I made. Whatever the price I paid. Shout out to the old me and everything you showed me. Had to make it up before I let you get to know me. Devil at my door, got me knocking on the other side. Ashes on the floor, but I'm walking out of here alive. Shout out to the old me and everything you showed me. Glad you didn't listen when the world was trying to slow me. No one could control me. Left my lovers lonely. Had to make it up before I really got to know me. All the mistakes I made. Whatever the price I paid. Shout out to the old me and everything you showed me. Had to make it up before I let you get to know me.
Welcome back to Campus Connection here on RiotRadio.ca. I'm your host, Grace Hillian. Matt, what have you got for us today?
Well, I have a doozy for us today. So I just did a quick little piece on the Esports Arena. They recently hosted their 24-hour LAN party.
What is that?
Okay, so a LAN party is essentially this type of gaming where essentially a bunch of people get together and play on the same console as opposed to over the internet.
Okay.
This means that it has much better connection. There's not as much latency.
Why do you do this? Like, what's the fun in that?
Because, well, one, there's the in-person experience, you know?
Yeah.
You ever talk to someone one-on-one? It's way more fun than texting or, In my opinion,
Depends on what you're texting about.
In my personal opinion, it has that energy, but also it has, like I said, less latency, and it's much more. It's just on a technical level much better.
Okay.
But yeah, so we do have like I said, quick little video. You should check that out. In fact, I think you're going to check it out right now. Durham College made a bold decision last year as they decided to open Canada's first esports arena. Now, nearly a year later, the arena is home to many events, with considerable turnout. One such event is the 24-hour LAN party hosted last Friday.
I'm right now just a volunteer for this event, which is the Midnight's LAN event. I usually help out with LAN events under this association, which is called E-Arena, formerly LAN Wars. The event that's going on right now is just a 24-hour LAN event. So what we planned for it was we set blocks of times for different tournaments, kind of back to back, and then they just have to sign up and pay for whatever mini tournaments they want at this tournament. Whenever they win a tournament, they can get some tickets or a prize from a list.
The event has a $10 entry fee for students and runs for a full 24 hours, tournaments and all.
What I do know is they're giving away mini coolers, air-filled couch, figurines, t-shirts, sweaters. Water bottles are usually free, and a whole lot of other goodies like expensive keyboards, mice. I don't think there's any monitors. They have mouse pads, and just a lot more other stuff. For right now, this was kind of our test event, just to see if we could do it here, in which obviously it is going decently well. So we'll probably have one run next year, and then since this is for mostly Durham, UIT will most likely run their own event under the name E-Arena or something else.
This event might be the only one like it this year, but if the tournaments intrigued you, then mark March 30th on your calendar. That's the date of their intramural tournaments. This has been DC Focus. And welcome back. So that was shot by me personally. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Anyway, so yeah, I think it's a really great event, and well, one, what does it do, right? One, it helps raise money for the actual the space, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, it costs a lot of money, but this brought in a lot of people. There's a $10 entry fee, as I said in the video, mm-hmm. Which is it's fairly, it's not expensive and it's not super cheap. So and as you can see, it was definitely sponsored by Monster. There's a lot of Monster in there.
I don't get the hype about Monster. I don't like it.
I think it's a good alternative to coffee, personally. As someone who can't, as someone who can't drink coffee, sometimes you just need that. So what's your opinion on esports?
I think it's stupid. It's just, I'm sorry, I don't understand the hype about video games. I just don't.
Okay,
my boyfriend plays them. He loves them. I can't.
Okay, so I expected this coming into this. Look, I'm not very big into the competitive gaming scene myself, but as an outsider looking in, I have an appreciation for it, and so this is where my appreciation comes from it. So I think that specifically competitive gaming opens up a avenue for people who want to who have that competitive nature and want to be in sports, but or maybe they're a bit too physically handicapped, like they just aren't able to. Maybe they're in a wheelchair, something like that, or don't have as much motion. And this gives them a great avenue to flex that competitiveness and in a more mental and reflexive way.
I can see where you're coming from on that, but do you need to spend 8 hours a day playing video games?
I mean, it's a profession. I mean, look, it's a $1 billion industry.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Matt, for joining me. Coming up next, we have Spencer Coutreira with some knowledge on Castlevania. Before we get into that, let's take a little listen to American Love by Scotty Sire.
You're like a Friday in Miami. I'm so LA, you're colder than New York City. Is this love, love, love in America? This feels like love, love, love in America. American love.
Face kinda red, I've been drinking. It helps me do a little less thinking. See a pretty girl in this club. Vision's kinda blurry, but she got a nice butt. So I walk through the crowd, music too loud. Scared to get shut down, so I take a shot down. Asked, would you like to dance? She says, you just wanna get in my pants. Wait, no, listen, I'd compliment your personality, but I don't know ya. I'm staring at your butt and I'd be lying if I told you that it wasn't. Cause it's honestly quite possibly the best I've ever seen. She liked my persistence despite misogyny. We danced for a little, then she came home with me. We smoked weed and then we fell asleep. Sweet dreams, wake up, still drunk, go again, sober up, I'm done. Please leave.
Like a Friday in Miami. I'm so LA, you're colder than New York City. Is this love, love, love in America? This feels like love,
hey, what's good, Scotty? This was
love in America. Hey, American
I'm
love.
in the function going stupid, I'm just doing my thing. Little mama caught my eye with the tat on her face. Hey, I knew she'd be the one, I could tell right away. We was both going dumb to some HBK. And she put it on my jeans and she threw it back. Just a little taller, I'ma handle that. And she gave me that look like it's go time. We to the crib, I ain't tryna waste no time. Am I wrong for thinking that we could be something for real? Cause I know we just met, but I sorta kinda feel like maybe we were meant to be. Or maybe I'm just talking up the Hennessy. Hey, either way, it's all good, you just let me know. I put my hands on her waist and she got real close. She said, listen up good, I'ma tell you one time. I just want your body on mine.
You're like a Friday in Miami. I'm so LA, you're colder than New York City. Is this love, love, love in America? This feels like love, love, love in America. American love. Shorty got KKK, tryna see if it's real or fake. See, I done paid for 5 or 6 drinks, so I'ma hit it back to back like Drake. Burning beef like Pusha. Gon' meet me on Wilshire. Rolling up some Cali Kush, yeah, all black Rari. Tell your friends I'm sorry, it only fits 2 bodies. Ooh.
Wake up in the morning with a killer hangover, but a smile on my face. Think about the girl who stayed over. Yeah, she was great. I kinda think I love her. Stayed up late making love, but I never got her number. Regret. That's what I'm feeling. Should've asked her to stay when she said she was leaving. Back to the club, shots to the the face. Every night I go there just in case. She shows up with a couple of friends that she wants me to take her home again. And then I saw her there, plaid skirt, blonde hair. Must have been the weekend, she was really freaking. Slide to the side of the club she's on. There's a look on her face like something's wrong. Apparently she's there with her boyfriend Todd. I was a mistake and she wants me gone.
In Miami, yeah. I'm so LA, you're cold. You're so cold, you're so cold. Is this love, love in Could this be love in America? Love Could this be love, American love?
Welcome back to Campus Connection here on RiotRadio.ca. I'm your host, Grace Hillian. Spencer, learn me some stuff about Castlevania.
All right, so have you watched any of it?
I have no idea what this is.
Okay, you haven't seen anything? All right, perfect. So I'll start from the beginning. So Castlevania is an American adult animated television series based on the Japanese video game series of the same name by Konami. The first two seasons adapt the 1989 Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse and follow Trevor Belmont, Alucard, and Sypha Belnadas as they defend the nation of Wallachia from Dracula and his hordes of monsters. The TV show's third season was just released this past weekend, and boy does it impress. The show's first season was just a mere 4 episodes and tackled the task of introducing 3 main characters and a main villain, Dracula. The storytelling, world building, and dynamic between the characters begin, but a full arc is not completed within those first 4 episodes. So season 2 creates more characters and places to explore, as well as an introduction to Dracula's War Council, so a whole slew of other vampires.
Okay.
The third season magnificently takes place after the fall of Dracula, where we see Trevor Belmont and Sypha Belnadas wandering the country taking down monsters of all sorts. There is a 2-month jump between a time jump between season 2 and 3, and we see our protagonists gain some new abilities and skills. Season 3 largely focuses on a priory turned satanic church that houses Dracula worshippers, so kind of trying to bring them back with all sorts of magic. So within the third season, we get to see a lot of character development, with Trevor and Sypha being excited, but by the end bittered by their work. Alucard begins the season hopeful, and again, then now doubtful and distrustful. And the gears begin to shift within the vampire hierarchy, and rogue forge masters, which are essentially resurrectors. They resurrect the dead and turn them into monsters, basically, roaming around the countryside, creating all sorts of havoc. So it's not just the vampires you have to fight anymore, it's now these rogue people. All things considered, Castlevania was well worth the wait for season 3, and I would definitely recommend it to all those who enjoy a well-constructed story with sex, gore, and character development and world building. I would give this an 8 out of 10, and you can find Castlevania in its entirety streaming on Netflix.
Well, you guys heard it here. It seems like a great show that you might want to watch. Me, not myself, but thank you so much, Spencer. Up next, we have Nick Reed and yourself with our roundtable on daylight savings fatigue. But first, let's do a 1-2 step with Sierra.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a jazzy fizzle production. Missy, the princess is here. Sierra.
This beat is automatic, supersonic, hypnotic, funky, fresh. With my body so melodic, this beat rolls right through my chest. Everybody, Martin, Poppy came to party. Grab somebody, work your body. Let me see you 1-2 step. Rock it, don't stop it. Everybody get on the floor. Bring the party up. We about to get it on. Let me see you 1-2 step. I love it when you 1-2 step. Everybody 1-2 step. We about
This
to
beat
get it
is
on. Outrageous, so contagious, make you crave it.
Jazzy made it.
So retarded, top charted. Ever since the day I started, strike my stuff and yes I flaunt it. Goodies make the boys jump on it. No, I can't control myself now. Let me do my 1-2 step. Rock it, don't stop it. Everybody get on the floor. Bring the party up. We about to get it on. Let me see you 1-2 step. I love it when you 1-2 step. Everybody 1-2 step. We about to get it on.
Like this.
boys say hello cause they know I'm rocking the beat. I know you heard about a lot of great MCs, but they ain't got nothing on me. Because I'm 5'2", I wanna dance with you and I'm sophisticated fun. I eat filet mignon and I'm nice and young, best believe I'm number one. Don't stop, everybody get on the floor. Crank the party up, we about to get it on. We see 1, 2 step, I love it. 1, 2 step, everybody 1, 2 step, we about to get it on. Don't stop, everybody get on the floor. Crank the party up, we about to get it on. We see 1, 2 step, I love it. 1, 2 step, everybody 1, 2 step, we about to get it on. This is for the hearing impaired. A Jazzy Faye production.
Welcome back to Campus Connection on riotradio.ca. How are you guys feeling? Are you feeling tired from daylight savings?
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really feel any different, so yeah.
You didn't notice any difference?
I didn't notice really any difference.
Well, you sleep like 2 hours a day anyway, don't you?
No.
Don't you
I go to bed at like 10, I wake up at 4.
You get up at 4 a.m. Who does that?
I also go to bed at like 10 though, so I still get my required number of hours of sleep, so.
Okay, but you get up at 4.
Yeah, I know. I'm normal for my age, but I still have a sleep schedule. But yeah, some people out there might be feeling a little bit fatigued. As I said, I'm not really feeling fatigued. But how do you, as we know how each other feel. But do you guys think that the world should stop observing daylight savings time, or do you like it?
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a farmer. So, daylight savings, who needs it? I'll just stay awake all the time. Forever.
So it's just 24 hours a day? You're just going to be awake?
Sleep's for quitters.
Sleep is for quitters.
You can tell by the bags under my eyes.
You can get some like concealer to like...
No, that's fine. I like my bags.
Okay.
I've got a lot of baggage anyway.
Yeah?
Totally fine.
Do we need to talk about that?
No, I'd rather sweep that under the rug like the rest of my issues.
Okay. So, I myself, I like daylight savings. I like to be aware of it. What about you, Nick?
Did you lose sleep or did you gain sleep?
I slept until like 6 p.m. the other day.
From when?
From like 4 a.m.
So like not a lot of sleep then.
No.
Because like it went from 2, like it would have turned 2 o'clock.
It was 1 o'clock and then it skipped to 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For all you people out here that lose sleep, go to bed earlier. Crazy suggestion.
It's not that easy.
I'm a madman.
Okay, I will say I'm going to bed early, and I'll get into bed at like 11 o'clock, and I'm still laying in bed, like haven't touched my phone, no TV on whatsoever, and I'm laying there staring at the ceiling until like 2 a.m.
Did you close your eyes?
Yes. Like I have an eye mask on. I'm like, why can't I sleep? Like it's not as easy as you think.
Sometimes you gotta get someone to like rub your tummy. You gotta sing. Na-ni, na-ni, na-ni. You ever get that?
No.
Puts me right to sleep. Don't do it now. So.
Take your advice.
Yeah, take my word for it.
We'll see. I don't think that's gonna work though.
There's tricks to falling asleep. I'm not an expert or anything, obviously. You can tell by the bags, as previously mentioned. But counting sheep is a load of nonsense, okay?
It's garbage.
So being colder helps you fall asleep faster.
I sleep with the window open.
Really?
Yeah.
That's nuts. What if somebody crawls in?
I live on the 4th floor of my building.
Ladders exist.
Are you sure she doesn't sleep?
Are you gonna climb up a ladder into my window, Spencer?
Right. Anyway. There's a counting. You don't count sheep, but you basically think of things that like soothe your mind. Basically, it's almost like meditating. Like imagine you're like cross-legged and just sitting and trying to be peaceful. Like what do you enjoy? Like candy, ice cream, your friend's company, heavy metal. You know, whatever it is that gets you relaxed. You know.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't know. Sleeping is just, it's not a thing right now. We're
could always use the old.
We can't do it.
The old forget me stick. Just whack, and then you're.
Fair enough. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me today. That's our show. Don't forget to tune in next week at the same time here on Campus Connection Riot Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Riot Radio, and we'll see you guys next week.
From the Durham Lords to hanging out in the pit, welcome to Campus Connection, the radio show about Durham College produced by DC Broadcasting.